0.42%. Recovery rate higher in 18 states and union territories as compared to the national average. In the national capital, Delhi, too, recovery rate rises to a record 77.6%. World Health Organization praises densely populated area of Dharavi in Mumbai for breaking the chain of transmission through strong focus on community engagement and the basics of testing and tracing. Says only aggressive action combined with national unity and global solidarity can turn the COVID-19 pandemic around. Prime Minister Narendra Modi expresses grief over loss of lives in Arunachal Pradesh due to heavy rains and landslides. Says all possible assistance being provided to those affected. Heavy rain combined with massive landslides account for 8 lives. In Assam, Dhemaji continues to be the worst hit district, followed by Lakhimpur and Barpeta, with Brahmaputra still flowing above danger level at many places. Weather Department issues red alert for several states in eastern and northeastern India. Heavy rain forecast predicted at many places. Orange alert also issued for several states in northern India for the next couple of days. India and China reiterate their stand of complete disengagement of armed forces at the line of actual control. Both sides agree to full restoration of peace and tranquility in the border areas in accordance with bilateral agreements and protocols. Hold another meeting of working mechanism for consultation and coordination on India-China border affairs. Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh speaks to his US counterpart Mark Esper on phone. Two leaders discuss bilateral defense cooperation and issues of mutual interest. Rajnath Singh also speaks to South Korean Defense Minister to further strengthen the bilateral defense ties. Good morning. You're watching TD News and I'm Preeti presenting the Bulletin. In the next half an hour, we'll get an account of everything that's been making it to the headlines. First, we'll take a look at the impact of COVID-19 across the country. There is a progressive increase in the number of recovered cases of COVID-19. So far, more than 4,95,000 people have recovered from this disease, and there is no need to panic. Instead, the need of the hour is to remain alert. That's why the lockdown has been reimposed in many states. Take a look.
The trend of progressive increase in the number of recovered COVID-19 patients continues in the country. As per the latest data, 4,95,515 people have recovered from the disease so far. The improvement in recovery rate is the result of combination of preemptive, proactive and graded steps taken by the centre in collaboration with the state's UTs. The national recovery rate has improved and become 62.42%. Moreover, there are as many as 18 states UTs with recovery rate more than the national average. At the national level, the case fatality rate has declined to 2.72%. There are 30 states UTs which have a fatality rate lower than the national average. As of now, there are 2,76,682 active cases in the country and 21,604 people have lost their lives due to this disease. In the last 24 hours, 2,83,659 samples were tested. So far, 1,10,24,491 samples have been tested in the country. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister E.K. Palanisamy held a meeting with the Union Health Ministry team led by Additional Secretary Aarti Ahuja in Chennai. The team visited the state to take stock of the situation. In Maharashtra, new guidelines for lockdown have been issued by the local administration in various districts. The district administration has decided to extend strict lockdown in Pune and Pimpri Chinchwad for 10 days. In Aurangabad city and industrial area, lockdown has been extended up to 18th July. In Bihar, strict lockdown is being imposed in 10 districts including Patna due to the increasing cases of the infection. In Uttar Pradesh, lockdown has been imposed from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. However, essential services have been exempted during this period.
समस्त कार्यालय है, शहरी क्षेत्र में जो भी बाजार है, गल्ला मंडी है और व्यावसायिक प्रतिष्ठान है और ग्रामीण क्षेत्र में जो हाट है वो इस अवधि में 10 तारीख की रात्रि यानी आज की रात्रि से 13 तारीख यानी सोमवार की सुबह 5 बजे तक बंद रहेंगे। इसमें जो भी आवश्यक सेवाएं हैं जैसे स्वास्थ्य और चिकित्सा की हैं, आवश्यक आपूर्ति की सेवाएं हैं, जो भी इसमें कार्य करने वाले हमारे कोरोना वॉरियर्स हैं उनके लिए ये प्रतिबंध नहीं होगा, डोर स्टेप डिलीवरी के लिए प्रतिबंध नहीं होगा, स्वच्छता कर्मियों के लिए प्रतिबंध नहीं होगा।
To control the spread of coronavirus in Assam, full lockdown has been imposed in 2 districts. Various state governments are strictly enforcing lockdown to fight COVID-19 pandemic. Bureau Report, DD India.
All right, to get us more on that, our correspondent Salman Haider is joining us from Patna. Salman, we tell our viewers that lockdown restrictions have been imposed in Bihar, and also when we talk of the need of the hour, at present the need of the hour is to remain alert. Let us know what is the current situation in the state right now.
Is trying its best to make people aware of the intensity of the disease. And as far as recovery rate is concerned, it is at present 71.54%. So, but the case is in Patna, it has the number of cases have shot up, due to which the lockdown has been again imposed in Patna as well as in other 9 districts altogether. And in some districts, the lockdown is imposed up to 13th only. But the people, the administration is making people feel that the situation is grim. But if they are aware and they control themselves while gathering outside, not venturing outside, it will be controlled, and the situation at present is very grim in some of the districts. As far as Patna is concerned, there are 13 deaths till now, and the number of active cases are 743. Preeti.
All right, Salman, also let us know any special instructions being given for areas which fall under containment zones, and any special word of advice from the administration to the people?
Containment zones are there. Around 150 containment zones have been denotified because there were no cases for past 3 weeks there, and everything is under control. So 150 containment zones have been denotified, but still there are above 2,000 containment zones which are under strict surveillance of the administration. Yeah, Preeti.
All right, Salman, thank you so much for joining us with those inputs. That was our correspondent Salman Haider telling us more about the lockdown which has been extended in Bihar. Let's get you an update on the current situation in the national capital. Despite a rise in the COVID-19 cases, the recovery rate in the national capital, Delhi, stands near 77.6%. According to the Delhi Health Department, 84,698 people have recovered, almost 4 times the number of active cases, which stand at 21,146. As many as 2,468 patients have recovered in the last 24 hours, taking the recovery rate to 77.6%. The national capital witnessed 2,089 new confirmed cases and 42 deaths in the past 24 hours. While COVID-19 has a 2 to 5% mortality rate across the world, and in the absence of a vaccine for this virus, it may not be possible to bring the mortality rate down to 0. However, proper patient and facility management can lead to reduction of mortality, which is exactly the strategy that has been followed in Delhi. The Uttar Pradesh government has imposed a weekend lockdown in the state from 10 p.m. last night till 5 a.m. on Monday to check the spread of COVID-19 and other communicable diseases. The state government has permitted movement only for providing medical and essential services in the state. This decision has been taken after reviewing the present situation of COVID-19 pandemic and for putting an effective check on it. All offices and markets remain closed during this period. And a note circulating in the media claims that CBSE has released the result dates for board examinations and also lists 3 websites to view the results. But a fact check on the claim was found to be fake. CBSE has not announced any dates, and according to the fact check, such dates will be announced on the CBSE official website or social media account. The World Health Organization on Friday acknowledged Mumbai's efforts to contain the outbreak of COVID-19 in DHARAVI, India's largest slum. In a tweet, the World Health Organization recognized many countries and potential hotspot regions like Vietnam, South Korea and DHARAVI in Mumbai for using different methods like testing, contact tracing, isolation and timely treatment of the infected to break the chain of transmission. DHARAVI was a hotspot in June but has seen a sharp drop in cases in July. The WHO chief, Tedros Ghebreyesus, said that Italy, Spain, South Korea and DHARAVI have showed that virus could be reined in through aggressive action. And our correspondent Shishir is joining us to get us more on that. Shishir, in these times of crisis, we have good words coming in from the WHO when it appreciates and acknowledges that DHARAVI, India's largest slum, has contained the spread of the virus. Talk more about that and also let us know the current update on the COVID-19 situation in the state.
Well, absolutely. As far as DHARAVI is concerned, DHARAVI is emerging as a model who actually fought with the corona here, because in June, in April, May and June probably, DHARAVI was a hotspot in Mumbai, and that's the reason the numbers of cases increasing day by day. At one time, we have seen here that the growth rate was almost touching 12%, but right now it has reduced to almost 1 or 2% here. As far as the doubling rates are concerned in DHARAVI, it was 18 days earlier, which has now gone beyond 70 days. So it obviously shows that how DHARAVI is tackling the issue. But obviously, the most important factor is that the state government, the central government, and the municipal corporation has a focused approach as far as DHARAVI is concerned. And that's the reason the testing, tracing, and treatment, these are 3 important factors that the government worked on. Well, DHARAVI is, as we all know, that's quite densely populated area, and that's the reason the social distancing is a major problem in the region. That's the reason the state government have thought of a different approach to tackle this issue, and that's the reason institutional quarantines have been prepared in DHARAVI itself. Now, those who have been treated in DHARAVI actually have not gone beyond the region. They've actually treated in DHARAVI itself, be it hospitals, schools. The government have taken care of it, and all those people have been sent to institutional quarantine. As far as the positive cases are concerned, those positive patients have also been admitted to the nearby hospitals here. So the government tried to contain the area and the patient itself inside. The most successful matter is that here the government have started the Chase the Virus initiative in DHARAVI region, and that's the reason they have set up the fever clinic at every nook and corner in DHARAVI. They've also got help from the private doctor with some of the other NGOs also. And these all actually work in a coordinated manner. As a result, we have seen here right now, the numbers have reduced. Right now, only 1 or 2 patients sometimes are found positive in DHARAVI. That's what the recent numbers are showing. So obviously, that's the reason it seems that the government's focused approach to contain this area have actually yielded some results here. Social distancing is one aspect, and second important thing is the proper medical facilities provided in this region have actually reduced the number. Well, as far as states are concerned, the numbers in the states is actually rising day by day. Yesterday, more than 7,000 patients have been found positive here. The other areas, the MMR region is actually one of the epicenter of the corona, the corona outbreak here. But apart from that, in other parts of the state, like in Pune also, and the other districts also have been witnessing a number of rise in the corona patients here. But the most important factor is that the growth rate, the recovery rate actually, the recovery rate has increased now and it's gone to 55% here. well, it's below the national average, but still the government is right now more focusing on contact tracing and testing. The testing has been increased a lot in the state. More than 10 lakh testings have been done so far. The government, on the other hand, is also increasing the institutional quarantine facilities in the state. The big COVID centers have been inaugurated in MMR region, and going forward, the Maharashtra Chief Minister have also said that the other areas, other districts also, they should implement the same strategy as they've implemented in Mumbai. But right now, as we see that numbers are increasing day by day, the Kalyan Municipal Corporation, Thane Municipal Corporation, these are the adjoining area to the Mumbai, are quite worrisome factor for the state government. That's the reason this government is now focusing on it. Well, the lockdown has extended till 19th of July in the state, keeping in mind these rising numbers of COVID-19, the COVID positive patients in the state.
All right, Shishir. So the lockdown has been extended till 19. Thank you so much for joining us with those inputs. That was our correspondent Shishir telling us more about the methods which were adopted to contain the spread of COVID-19 in Maharashtra, and specifically DHARAVI, which has been appreciated by the WHO. Let's get you more. Person of Indian origin, Deepak Paliwal, has volunteered for human trials for the COVID vaccine developed by the Oxford University. In an exclusive interview with DD India, Deepak revealed how the decision was first taken by him, and then his wife and other family members stood by his bold decision to volunteer for the trials for the vaccine that the entire humanity is eagerly awaiting.
At a time when the COVID-19 pandemic has engulfed the globe and many nations are fighting the disease with all their resources, the vaccine is the only hope for countries which are literally on the brink of collapse and absolute chaos. While many nations are spearheading the vaccine research and development, some vaccines have entered the critical human trial phase. The pandemic has surely struck a fierce psychosis, with reports of discrimination coming in on a regular basis, even against patients who were discharged after successful treatment. At such a critical stage, a Jaipur-born Indian who is now a UK resident has volunteered to be a part of the much-talked-about Oxford vaccine trial for COVID. Oxford University's potential vaccine is among the front-runners for a COVID-19 vaccine. Deepak Paliwal has accepted to be a part of the human trials after a friend messaged him about the trials.
I thought, why not? If something good can happen through me, I'll be the luckiest person if I can be of any help to the humanity and for a good cause. So I registered online, thinking that yes, I may be the lucky one to get the chance. But still I was not hopeful because there was quite a lot of entries for that. I registered it and suddenly I get an email that we will like to screen you. And that was the time I decided, yes, let me go. And when the parameters were found perfect, then they gave me an offer, will you like to be a part of the trial?
The decision to be part of one of the most keenly awaited medical experiment was not an easy one. One of the challenge being seeking consent of family members.
I think it's very important that people like young people like him come up and actually do voluntary work for the society. And it was not just the trial. During the trial, he had also volunteered for the NHS to go and deliver medications to people and do their grocery shopping. So I think it's really important. And we both are volunteers for the British Heart Foundation as well. So I think we all need to do our bit to give back. I'm a complete believer of that.
In Jaipur, the other family members of Deepak Paliwal are happy that he is part of such an important task which will help the entire humanity.
हम सोचते हैं कि बहुत बड़ा निर्णय है और मानवता की पूरी अगर इससे कुछ भी सहायता हो सकती है तो हम अपने को भी गौरवान्वित अनुभव करेंगे. आई एम प्राउड ऑफ.
इस वक्त में इतनी गंभीर समस्याएं ये पैंडेमिक के चक्कर में डिफिकल्ट तो है, बट आई एम वेरी हैप्पी कि उसने कर लिया और इतना वक्त हो गया कि ये माना जा सकता है कि ये सफल हो ही जाएगी.
Deepak Paliwal is part of the pharmaceutical industry in the UK. He has also stressed on the need for making COVID-19 vaccine accessible and affordable. Oxford University's potential vaccine is among the front-runners for a COVID-19 vaccine. With inputs from Prasar Bharati in Jaipur and Munmun Bhattacharya in Delhi, DD India.
Up next, we'll take a look at global updates on COVID-19. Coronavirus has claimed the lives of over 5.5 lakh people worldwide, while over 1.24 crore people have contracted the virus so far. With more than 31.75 lakh cases and over 1.33 lakh deaths, the US continues to be world's highest infected and the worst infected country, in fact, with COVID-19 infections and fatalities. Brazil comes in at the second position with over 18 lakh infections and 70,398 deaths. Talking of the death toll worldwide, US and Brazil are followed by the United Kingdom with 44,735 fatalities, further followed by Italy, Mexico and France. And back home, landslides were reported in Itanagar and Papumpare districts of Arunachal Pradesh, in which 8 people lost their lives, including a woman and a child. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has expressed anguish at the loss of lives in Arunachal Pradesh, saying assistance is being provided to those affected. He tweeted, and I quote him, "Saddened by the loss of lives due to heavy rains as well as landslides in Arunachal Pradesh, my thoughts are with the bereaved families. May the injured recover quickly. All possible assistance is being provided to those affected." Union Minister Kiran Rijiju has thanked Prime Minister Modi for prompt action in the state. In a tweet, he said, and I quote him, "Thanks to Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji for urgently responding to the tragic loss of lives in Arunachal Pradesh due to landslides and for timely making the provisions in the NDRF for financial support to the families of the deceased and for the damages due to disaster." He further added, Chief Minister Pema Khanduji's government is taking all possible steps to help the families of the deceased. The centre will also extend all possible help. And State Chief Minister has expressed grief over the situation and assured all possible relief. Ex gratia relief is being expedited to the next of the kin. As per the release from the Arunachal Pradesh Disaster Management Department, the bodies were retrieved from the debris by police and NDRF personnel with the help of locals. A helpline number has been released. The district administration also requests denizens to contact in case of any kind of assistance during the disaster. The numbers are 1077 878 733 6331 and 9436415828. The Indian Met Department has predicted very heavy rainfall in the next 3 days. District Administration of Itanagar requests the denizens to take all precautionary measures and to refrain from staying at vulnerable locations. And Sanjay Pratap Singh is joining us to get us more on that. Sanjay, we've told our viewers how landslides were reported in Itanagar and Papumpare districts, in which 8 people have already lost their lives. You let us know what is the current situation there in the state.
Preeti, rain continue है. हालांकि ईटानगर एंड पापुमपारे डिस्ट्रिक्ट में रेनफॉल पिछले 12 आवर्स में उस तरह का नहीं है, लेकिन आईएमडी ने जैसा कि आपने मेंशन किया कि ऑलरेडी वार्निंग दे रखी है नेक्स्ट 48 आवर्स के लिए, और सेवरल प्लेसेस में स्पेशली आइसोलेटेड प्लेसेस में वेरी रेनफॉल कहा है और रेड जोन की तरह इंडिकेट किया है, जबकि स्टेट के सभी पार्ट्स में रेन कंटिन्यू है और रिवर फ्लो ज्यादातर रिवर चाहे वो लोहित हो, सियांग हो, उसमें काफी ज्यादा वाटर फ्लो है, जिसके कारण आसपास के जो इलाके हैं उनमें सॉइल एरोजन की घटनाएं हो रही हैं। दूसरा जो आपने पॉइंट रेज किया कि अरुणाचल प्रदेश में एक्चुअली इस मौसम में लैंडस्लाइड तो होती हैं, लेकिन काफी मैसिव लैंडस्लाइड पिछले 24 आवर्स में हुई, जिनमें 8 लोगों की यहाँ पे डेथ हो गई। लेकिन स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ने कुछ नए इनिशिएटिव अभी और लिए हैं। जो स्टेट का डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट डिपार्टमेंट है, दे हैव सेट अप 5 रीजनल रिस्पांस सेंटर्स अलग अलग डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स में बनाए हैं, एंड दे विल कैटर एटलीस्ट 4-5 डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स ऑफ नियर बाई एरिया, जहां से रैपिड रिस्पांस जो है वो दिया जा सके, स्पेशली इंटीरियर जो इलाके हैं उनके लिए।
All right, Sanjay, thank you so much for joining us with those inputs. That was our correspondent Sanjay telling us more about the situation in the state. Let's get you an update on the situation in Assam. The floodwaters receded in the last few days. However, due to heavy rainfall as forecast by the Indian Met Department, Brahmaputra and some of its tributaries, including Disang, Dhansiri, Barali and Beki are flowing above the danger level. Villages in Mohna Ghat area of Dibrugarh have been flooded after water level of Brahmaputra river rose following incessant rainfall and broke a ring dam. Now, Dhemaji is the worst hit district, followed by Lakhimpur in the affected 14 districts which are submerged under floodwaters. With new areas inundated, the number of population affected have gone up from 1.8 lakh to 3.41 lakh so far, as per the latest flood bulletin released by Assam State Disaster Management Authority on Friday evening. Over 46,000 hectares of cropped areas have been damaged and over 700 villages are submerged. The state government is on alert following the forecast of heavy to very heavy rainfall in many parts of Assam for the next 3 to 4 days. Total of 2,386 inmates are housed in 41 relief camps and centers. And Duina is joining us to get us more on that. Duina, we've told our viewers that the situation is somewhat deteriorating in Assam. You let us know how has the day begun there, and also let us know how is the IMD predicting the weather in the next few days, very briefly and quickly.
Right, Pretty. The floodwaters started receding in the past few weeks, but yes, according to Met Department, they forecasted that from July 9th there will be heavy rainfall in most of the parts of Assam, and accordingly, the rainfall started, and the Brahmaputra and some of its tributaries are now flowing above the danger level, which has, for which the number of affected districts have now gone up to 14. And people affected is more than 3,41,000, as you have mentioned. Yes, the relief and rescue operations are on. Total of 18 people have been evacuated in the last 24 hours by NDRF, SDRF, and local people there. And if we talk about the number of inmates taking shelter in relief camps, 41 relief camps, over 2,300 inmates are there presently, and relief and distribution is also on. District administrations are, they are providing all the necessary things, especially
Right.
the relief materials to those inmates, and also, trying to focus on the social distancing part, as
Right.
the COVID cases are on the rise in Assam recently, and now there are three major, issues that are being state government is trying to tackle it in a smooth manner, like
All right, so
flood,
efforts
then
being made
again
by the state
erosion,
government.
then COVID. Three are the major issues that are going on in the state presently, Pretty.
All right, Duina, thank you so much for joining us with those inputs. So that was our correspondent Duina joining us and getting us more on the flood situation in Assam. So that's it in this edition of the News This Hour. Thanks for watching. Namaskar.